Hey, check this out. Doesn't this look like something you'd see like on a travel vacation postcard? So I'm out at this beautiful babbling brook, and I've got the Osmo Pocket with me, and it's freaking cold. Look at my look at my breath. It's like minus 17 right now. It's pretty cold. So I'm gonna put a hat on, and what I'm gonna do is I have these freewheel filters out with me right now for the Osmo Pocket. And if you try to film in the wintertime with snow, the sky, foliage, water, everything, you really need freewheel filters because you got to slow down that shutter, because the shutter on the Osmo Pocket will be going nuts. Right now I've got an ND, what is it on there? I can just barely see it. It's an ND16 filter, and it is polarized. I'll try a few of these filters, taking different images, and I'll just put in the corner exactly which filter I have on. It's much too cold out here for me to actually do photograph. I was going to try to do photographing, but that's quite difficult. So I won't be doing that out here. Anyways, guys, enough of me babbling. Let's get on with this. Here I have the DJI Osmo Pocket. Here I have a cardboard box from Freewell. And inside this cardboard box is this plastic case. You will note that these filters are made out of glass and metal, and that they are multi-coated filters. All right, enough about that. Let's get into the actual filters itself. If you've never opened a plastic hard case from Freewell, it's pretty simple. You push in the center and pull on the side. So push and pull. And the box opens nicely. If you don't do that, you're going to tear your nails off. And inside, what do you get? Whoa, look at you get the, what is that thing? That's a lint-free cloth for cleaning your filters. And you then get all these really cool filters. Now, one thing Freewell does that other companies do not do is, see these circular filters? So you have these ones here, which are sort of rectangle in shape. And then you have circular filters, as I'm moving this around. Well, the circular filters are because there's a polarization. There's a polarization coating, or a polarized coating. So in order to remove the correct amount of glare off an object, you literally rotate the filter. I've got my little DJI Osmo Pocket here, and I have a Freewell filter, and it's as simple as snapping them together. There we go. They magnetically snap together, and it fits in place nicely, and it looks like that when it's all done. There we go. That's a circular polarized filter from Freewell, and you'll notice it's a little different. It's still got a nice little magnetic back if I flip it over. And that will just snap onto there. Now, one thing I want to point out, I don't know if you can see it, if I can focus on here. See, there's a little white notch on there. Watch what happens when I turn this. See the notch? It turns. So that's so that when I'm setting the polarization on this filter, I'm looking through and I'm seeing what the camera is getting. And I go, whoa, I'm getting too much glare. I want to reduce the glare. So I turn this and I reduce the glare. And now I'm going to do a quick indoor test of the Osmo Pocket to show you when you use filters, especially the Freewell filters, the ND filters, you're essentially slowing down the shutter. And that's what you want to do to get better imagery, especially if you want that cinematic look, because in cinema, the shutter on cinema cameras is very slow. So when motion moves and there's action scenes, it's not so perfect. It's more, you know, like a blur. So right now I'm recording on this camera at 30 frames per second. I have the Osmo Pocket over here. You can't see it in the frame. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you watch me do something on the Pocket. I'm going to take a picture with the Pocket. So right now I'm going to put it on photo, and I have it set to 5 seconds. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to do this. You'll see the photo. There we go. Now the photo, because I have no ND filter on the Osmo Pocket, should be perfect. You saw my hand moving here, but in the photo it's going to look like it stopped in time. It's probably going to look pretty perfect. So the highest filter that comes in here is a polarized filter, so that's no problem. We're indoors, I'll use a polarized filter. It's an ND64. So that is going to stop the light by 6 f-stops, which is quite a bit. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the ND64 on. So let's try that. All right, I've got an ND64 right here, and I pity the fool that has to try to read the writing on these things. It is written so small for a guy like, focus on me, for a guy like me that wears glasses. Man, the writing is small. You need a lot of light to see it. But I know it's an ND64 because it's pitch black when I try to look through it almost. All right, let's stick it on the Osmo up here. I'll try to keep my fingers off it, not smudge it too much. Stick it on my little Osmo Pocket. Now I'm going to do the same photo with the same motion and watch the results. This should be pretty cool. 5, 4, 3, it's on the countdown. 2, 1, here we go. And my hand is a blur in the image. You saw I was moving at the same speed. Now, one other thing that I'm just noticing now that's really cool with the ND64 and polarization, the way the light moves around with a polarized filter. is that I can't see the monitor. See this monitor behind me? See this image? In the Osmo, it doesn't show up. There's no image. It shows black. So I'm going to go over to the Osmo and record the image that I'm seeing right now. Check this out here. All right, I'm recording on the Osmo right now. The ND64 is on there, so everything's like, ooh, dark. It should give a really cool effect. But look at that. There's my laptop down here. Well, there's my Captain Drone thing. Oh, it's following my head here. There's my Captain Drone. There's my laptop right behind it. You can see part of an image. And go up here. Look at the monitor. There's nothing on it. Let me just move this Osmo. Watch. See, tell me if you start to see an image on the monitor. There is an image on it, but it's not showing up. You're watching this on this screen. Look at this. There's the Osmo, and it's looking at the monitor right there. Look at my finger. It's black. But if you look over here, it's not black. You can see an image. I'm going to turn the polarized filter. Let's see if the image comes back. Oh, look at that. I'm changing the polarization. And now I can see the actual... Whoa, there it is. That is pretty wild. And there we go. I changed the polarization to get rid of that glare. It's treating the actual monitor as if it's a glare. So, pretty sweet. Welcome to Science 101 with Captain Drone and the Osmo Pocket and Freewell ND filters. All right, let's go on to the next segment. All right, I'm going to play with the polarization. You tell me if you see a difference. Right now, I have the notch facing straight up. I'm going to turn it to the right a quarter turn. See a difference? That's a quarter turn. I'll turn it halfway. There's halfway, and I'll turn it another quarter turn. There we go. And finally, I'll return it to where it started. And now the notch is pointing straight up. So hopefully you saw a difference there with the polarization. All right, down into the laser lights down here. Where are they, laser lights? There they are right there. And they shine over here, doing all sorts of weird things, and on the ground over there, which I can't see. There we go. All right, so what the plan is, now that it's getting dark at night, as soon as it gets pitch black, I'm going to use my little DJI Osmo to take a photo of the laser lights on the wall behind me here. Face tracking still works in the dark. There we go. So when it takes that photo, I have to leave the shutter open for about maybe 7 seconds, I think. But if you've ever left the shutter open on these cameras, or any camera for that matter, for a long amount of time, the blacks and the whites start to get underexposed, overexposed, and it looks okay, but it doesn't look great. But if you put an ND filter on a camera at night to make it even darker and leave the shutter open, then the blacks, you get a lot of definition between bright and not so bright. So I'm going to take a picture, and then I'm going to take a lume cube, and I'm just going to make a bunch of circles or something and see how the picture comes out. So you should see that now. I have the ND64 on. I like that filter for filming water, anything that's moving a little bit. See, there's slight movement in the fog and the mist coming off the water because the water is warmer than the air. It's pretty cold out here. I've got a polarized ND32 on, and I'm walking into the sun here. And it does quite well with the sun glare and just keeping everything nice with the polarization of the water and the glare off the water. Looks pretty good. Now I've got an ND16 polarized filter on. This is the type of filter you'd use for most everyday filming. Here I'm just walking. You can see the nice colors coming, the reflection on the water. And I'm trying not to fall into the water. And as I just pan up, see, it looks very nice. ND16 is probably the most appropriate filter for everyday type use on a Osmo Pocket. Now, one really good thing about the Osmo Pocket that I've noticed during this test is that it can work outside at like minus 17 degrees Celsius. It didn't fail me at all. It kept on working, so that's pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed this little test of the Osmo Pocket. I think in this video I threw someplace the actual close-up of the Freewell filters because I couldn't do it outside. It's just much too cold. My hands would be shaking trying to show you the filters up close. But right now I'm heading through the woods on my way home and get something warm to drink, and then that'll be it. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Try not to get my head hit by trees here, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay warm, take care.